But what happens if the so-called blue wave actually happens? Democrats could control both chambers and all the committees, although it looks far more likely on the House than in the Senate. Here to break down what this would mean is former Cruz campaign pollster and CEO of WPA Intelligence, Chris Wilson. Chris, thank you very much for joining us this morning. So setting aside the Senate, which is unlikely that Democrats take, focusing on the House this morning, which looks more and more like a toss-up, but we don't know which way it'll go. These chairmanships become very, very important. The first one we want to look at is the House Judiciary Committee. The current chair is Bob Goodlatte, but likely if Dems take the House, it would turn into Jerry Nadler. How would that change, say, the Kavanaugh hearing, which is retrospective, with Jerry Nadler in charge?
Well, what it would do really is it would be the thing is the Democrats aren't going to be able to impeach Donald Trump because, as you said, the Republicans will hold the Senate. But what they can do is they can make the president's life absolutely miserable. And Jerry Nadler would like nothing more than that. He's a Democrat from New York. He's been in the area of Trump for a long time. They've never really gotten along. And so what they could begin doing between Nadler on judiciary, Schiff on intelligence, Elijah Cummings on oversight, they can just start subpoenaing everything and everyone. Consider it Full Employment Act for White House lawyers. And basically every member of the White House staff would need a cot in the Capitol because they'd be testifying so much. And I think that's really going to be the disruption that the three of them could cause, but specifically Nadler, to your point, in terms of subpoenaing documents and making sure that everybody in the White House has to spend time testifying.
You mentioned investigations and subpoenas. The two committees that could do a lot of that are the Oversight Committee. That chairmanship could go from Trey Gowdy to Elijah Cummings. And then the intelligence side, two prominent names. Devin Nunes could be replaced by Adam Schiff. What happens if it's a Chairman Adam Schiff as far as how the House uses its powers to go after this administration?
Well, it's a great question, Pete, because what we've seen with Nunes is we've seen a lot of focus on scandals that I would say have been more on the bipartisan side, whereas Adam Schiff is a very partisan Democrat, just like Cummings is and just like Nadler is. The three of them you can see them begin to use their power in ways that I think are almost punitive toward Republicans, not just to the president, but to anybody else in the House that they want to take revenge on.
You know, I want to move. We're going to skip the Ways and Means Committee. Tax cuts are important. Kevin Brady would be replaced by Richard Neal. But I think a lot of people are fired up by the fact that in the House Financial Services Committee, the current chairman is Jeb Hensarling. Likely replacement, should the Dems take the House, Maxine Waters. What does that mean?
Can't you imagine the feeling in banking boardrooms around the country thinking that Maxine Waters will somehow have control and oversight of the banking industry? I can only imagine the optimism they have in the way that banking will be handled moving forward. I mean, you can just think of every single crazy liberal left-wing experiment that could be executed on banking and the way in which they operate. And you can be sure that Maxine Waters will be at the forefront of trying to execute those experiments.
Not to mention potentially trying to look into Trump's businesses and taxes, finding some angle for impeachment. Maxine Waters would have the gavel. Chris Wilson, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.